Well, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's ready for another Link to the Past Randomizer League game between Double Dippers and CLW. We got mooglecharm and Swerb going together in an Ambrosia seed. Both these two are the Wisdom players, so naturally in the playoffs they will face each other as their teams compete. My name is Lou Maga. I am joined by JP here in the booth. JP, how are you?
Taking some time off of my Final Fantasy XIV rating and Animal Crossing obsession to join you here today to bring you this match.
Appreciate it. Yeah, so this is the third match between these two. CLW up 2-0. So if they win, they'll go away with the series. mooglecharm hoping to keep the Double Dippers alive.
Yep. CLW coming out of that very close Hyrule Castle division. Where it was like we were at a 6-way tie going into the last week. But they've started to pull away here in the playoffs. So this is going to be very interesting to watch. See if they can get the sweep or if Double Dippers will extend this series another game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Hyrule Castle division, really competitive division. CLW won that with a 10-4 record. Double Dippers 9-5, and as you mentioned, that Game 6 last week with mooglecharm pulling it out. So these are two really evenly matched teams. Don't count Double Dippers out, down 2-0.
Yeah, exactly. At this point in the tournament, we are so close, and we've already had 3 ties in the playoff stage, which is pretty crazy to think about. But I think that just shows how close a lot of these races have been. Just to have that many ties so far, like anything can happen in any race. As I think we brought this up, this is Ambrosia Seed for Game 2, so they start with the sword. They'll get a boots hint, which we'll see right now. Ugh, I don't like that hint. Light World means a lot.
It's not one of the friendlier hints. I think the only worst would be Ganon's Tower, because you're probably not going to get those boots for, the end of until the end of the seed.
Yeah, Light World is very deceptive because you think, okay, I'm going to get them in Kakariko or on South Shore, or then they end up being on the mushroom that is hidden in Ganon's Tower.
Sure.
But I mean, it could mean a lot. We can see the boots early. It could be late. We'll see.
So we already had our sword, just got a shield, some arrows. This is not going to be too bad of an escape with an assured sword.
We are doing some farming for bombs. Looks like it will not. Oh, there they are. I was going to say, they're not going to drop from the guards. The guards is a rupee pack, but they got some bombs already.
Yeah, and especially with a standard, if you don't get those bombs, either in one of the chests or off a prize pack, you're not going to see the back of Escape for quite a while until you find those gloves, and who knows, your first glove could be back there.
Yeah, so you never want to leave that behind. You want to try to avoid it as much as possible, leaving those chests behind. We're still going to get a good amount of items from the start here. We get 6 guaranteed items, I believe it is. Yeah, 6 items. And then the nice thing about a standard start is that it takes 1 item off the list of something that can get you down the road. You don't have to worry about leaving something behind here. It's 1 less concern. And in addition, if you're a high execution runner, you can build a small lead over your opponent with a good performance here.
Yeah, if you're familiar with No Major Glitches as a category, you run this sequence all the time, and you can have it down to muscle memory, almost to a science, and optimize it pretty well. You can wind up with almost a sub-6 escape on an average day.
And I think this is where you can kind of see Swerb, I know, has done a lot of NMG practice. I know he was recently in the All Dungeons Restricted Major Glitches tournament. And and he's been doing a lot of practice with this escape sequence, so he's very familiar with it.
All right, slashes versus pots.
Looks like mooglecharm actually made up a little bit of time there.
Yeah, that pot takes half of the damage off of that ball and chain guard, so Swerb having to do those 8 slashes did eat up a little bit of his gain.
I think optimally those are about even, but I know Swerb looked like Swerb took an extra couple frames essentially to get that guard into a good position to slash.
Yep. And we're talking about minor optimizations here in Escape. This is rando. You could wind up with a whole lot of other reasons why one pulls away from the other. This is just something to kind of fine tune as you're running, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got the small key from here. We still have not seen a map.
Yeah,
so
and
we
if
still have 4 more items to go.
And if these runners are paying attention to the items, if they don't find a map in Dark Cross and Escape, back of Escape, they'll know that it's in Sanctuary, could avoid that and save, second or two.
The big thing when you're in the standard start and you're doing this beginning, you start to think, how do I want to route it coming out of here? Some runners will just, whatever they get, it's the exact same play, go to Kakariko. Other runners might say, I got this item and this item, I'm gonna skip Kakariko for now and go a different way.
Yeah, if you find enough items to say, go clear a crystal in Eastern, that might be your first stop rather than Kakariko. Though Kakariko is Sphere 1, it's hard to pass that up for very long.
Yeah, all runners will eventually head there. But a lot of runners would like to do things like just try to go find a bottle or the flute before going into Kakariko and make it a little more efficient. Which is risk-reward. Sometimes that pays off, you get a little more efficient time. Sometimes you wait on something important.
All right, now we get the back of Escape check. Don't think we saw that map in Dark Cross. So, looking for 3 items back here. There it is.
And that was the one thing you wanted to make sure you had your bombs for, that power glove.
Especially if that glove locks the other glove.
Yeah. Now, both runners will know that they're each going to pick that up because they got a chest with bombs.
Yeah.
So they both know that the other got it.
A good sub-6 escape for both of these runners. It's what you're looking for when you do a standard seed.
And you even get a nice heart container out of it. Yeah, nothing to really point you a direction. They're heading to CAC. Light World, a pendant here, everything else crystals.
Yep.
I've noticed Hera's been a pendant a lot lately. Just feel like sometimes the game goes through cycles like that. I just notice one dungeon tends to be a pendant more often than not. For a while it was Ice Palace that did that.
Yeah, I think a lot of runners have theories about the pseudo-randomization. All right. Ooh, nice bomb drop out of the tree pole.
Yeah, that'll stock you up for a little bit.
Yeah, both runners getting that big 20. It's not much, but it's almost enough for that bottle vendor.
Yeah, they'll definitely have enough for a bottle vendor, and passing up money, even 20s early, is a little rough because I can't count how many times I've found myself 20 rupees short on something and I skipped a 20 earlier.
Yeah, same with me. You could wind up with 5 rupees short on Zora, and then you're kicking yourself because you can't get any more money.
Alright, so heading in the blind side. Remember, the hint was boots in Light World, so they're both hoping to see those boots here. And I think you're going to see more overworld checks because of that. At least until they find the boots.
Very possible. You're right, the Light World hint does not include any of the dungeons. That would have been dungeon-specific hint from Uncle.
Yeah, so there's definitely more incentive to check overworld to start at least.
But other than that glove and our assured sword, got a whole bunch of nothing so far. A few bombs and a few rupees. And a heart.
There's there.
Question in chat, does being locked behind the green pendant, so a turn-in on Sahasrara, count in as a Light World? Yes, that is a Light World location.
The only thing the Light World would not really count is Death Mountain, because there is a separate hint for Death Mountain.
Speaking of Death Mountain, there's one of your items for a Death Mountain boss, Ice Rod.
That is very nice to get out of the way early.
You know, sword playing with fire with a chicken clip there.
Yeah, there's a chance to soft lock yourself if you pick up a chicken at the wrong moment.
Yeah, I always just kind of flinch when I see a chicken clip, but pulls it off and gets a bunch of money out of the back.
So we picked up a couple of cold items between the ether and the ice rod, but nothing that really gives us an idea of which way to go yet.
No, you're gonna have to check South Shore and a vanilla book in the library.
Well, we need boots for that. That increases the chance that the boots are somewhat available here. There they are.
So yeah, those boots. So get your boots, go get your book.
And that's actually going to give mooglecharm, he's going to save a few seconds by just going straight for this.
Yeah, it's a very favorable location for the boots in an ambrosia seed.
So it's worth noting that with those boots and getting the book right now, we're a fire source away from a full clear desert.
So I guess that means, as you were asking, no indication of where you should go. I think we just got a clue to go to desert, because that does open up the ledge and a few items. You just can't get to the back.
We're going to see a little divergence. mooglecharm is going to head to Bonk Rocks. He might check Lumberjack as well. And Swerb just save and quit. So he might just go to Bonk Rocks from here. Actually ended up being about even with the two different ways these runners routed it. Swerb actually might have saved a little time.
Yeah, as much as I like to see a close race, I do like to see plenty of divergence, but interesting to see how these two are just kind of with the same train of thought. You get the boots, you want to check a couple of boots locations, especially seeing if you have to do Agadim early on for an item.
We're about to find out. Nope, don't need it for Lumberjack. But I think Swerb is going to go from here and climb Death Mountain.
No, a bit risky. He does not have a hammer nor a hook shot, so he's only going to be able to get the old man and inside of Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, 2 items. You can see a third, but that's it. Mooglecharm, I'm going to stick with item dense spots. Red boomerang. As much as people give the red boomerang a hard time, that's really nice for menuing, and also if you want to stun some enemies to see what the stun prize is.
That's to say nothing of those Ancilla glitches like the splash deletion you can do with it.
Swerb picked up a bottle that does give us sick kit access.
Yeah, nothing out of the dam for Swerb, or for mooglecharm.
Mooglecharm's heading straight to deserts. A little risky. Ooh, there's a nice find for Swerb, the flippers. The heading desert's a little risky because you don't have that fire source to complete it, and you can only get access to one item because it's ambrosia.
You also get the ledge.
Oh yeah, you do get the ledge, and you can check Agina as well over here.
So we got a bit more of an opening, and I don't think there's enough money on Swerb's end for Zora, but can now go get the Hobo and Waterfall check.
Starting back at Sanctuary again. Think he's gonna set up for a Houlihan here? Yeah, he's doing a backup Houlihan strat. Gonna bomb himself into the hole to dislodge the camera. Oh, okay, there's a good find for mooglecharm.
So progression on both ends of this race. mooglecharm getting that Moon Pearl, Swerb getting the flippers.
Now, Swerb, if he still finds like the lamp or the fire rod, could make it a one-stop desert, while mooglecharm will have to double dip. mooglecharm's just gonna look for the big key while he's in here. Yeah, there's the big key. We'll likely see mooglecharm leap out of the right exit and head to Agina from here.
Did we check ledge?
Yes, there was a piece of heart.
Okay. Now Swerb may go to desert, having the book, but may also choose to go right, do mini Moldorm, and then do some of those water checks.
Picking up those flippers, yeah, he's heading rights. He pick up the flippers and then doing the Houlihan was a pretty good indicator he wanted to go to Zora.
Yeah, well, there's just about Zora money for mooglecharm. Wonder if he's gonna just do South Shore and then worry about Death Mountain later. As we mentioned, it was kind of a risk, but it does pay off.
There's Cape. We are an interesting spot. A lamp or a hammer or another glove to get us to Dark Roads. mooglecharm didn't do the Houlihan, but with the 50-pack in here, we'll have enough for a Zora check if he wants to do that.
300 in here too, I think.
Yep, I think you're right. Looking at Swerve's rupee count. And as a reminder for Ambrosia mode, every boss will have an item, a non-dungeon item. So they know that's where one of the items is in each of these dungeons. Swerb set up a water walk and then just jumped in the water. Oh, there he goes. Okay.
Lost his water walk by going through the shallow water.
Yeah, he did. With flippers, you can't do that. You'll lose your water walk if you do that. If you don't have flippers, you can run over the shallow water. But with flippers, you lose it. We're gonna see mooglecharm set up a water walk here. mooglecharm could also set a fake flipper up. And if he does that, he could potentially get the Zora ledge item.
Yeah, interesting. You could store that double water walk.
Looks like that's what he's planning to do. Or nope, he's gonna head up to Hobo and use his water walk to run back down to the portal afterwards. So, whatever's in the waterfall will be out of logic still, but Zora will be in logic.
Yeah, with those gloves, that does put him in logic. There's an out-of-logic flute and a hook shot that's huge.
Okay, so we know that the lamp is sitting either on Zora or in the eastern area.
And, you know, this works out for mooglecharm. He's going to be able to single dip, at least Light World, Death Mountain. Swerb is going to be able to likely do a single dip of Desert Palace for that Moon Pearl plus Landless. But, man, that is a huge cave. Nothing the rest of the way up in Zora's domain.
Now, at this point, the Aga possibility is a little more interesting because you've got access to do stuff in Dark World if you go through Aga, but we, of course, still need the lamp before that would happen. But with a packed Death Mountain still, there's a very good chance we could also find a progression up there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, having found the lamp and no bow, they're going to hold off on Eastern for a little bit, just to make things a bit more efficient.
So with that flute, going back up to Death Mountain, which is technically still out of logic, we're going to get 8 checks. Oh, that's right, Swerb picks up a bottle.
Yeah, this is also out of logic. Also rather useless at this point.
And Swerb's gonna dip deserts. He'll get his Moon Pearl this way.
Yeah, and here's the Death Mountain play for mooglecharm. Always going to save that old man first. Just get the save at least, even if he doesn't have an item.
Yeah, chat's saying Eastern has to have lamp. Eastern area, to be clear, has to have it. Because it could also be in Saharsala.
That or something that leads to the lamp is going to be over there.
That is also a possibility. Swerb actually not going to go into desert just yet. I think he really wants to have that fire source, and he knows it's available at this point.
Yeah, so mooglecharm, his first trip up the mountain, gonna check out Spec Rock, get that flippers, and Swerb already got those, so his first trip up here did not have the hook shot. Checking out our Paradox Cave for 7 items.
Oh, there's 70 rupees. We got 10 arrows, bug net, heart container. Okay, there you go. That'll send you to desert. Fire rod.
Yeah, there's our source. Landless is now in logic.
So mean, Swerb will know at this point where the lamp likely is, but he'll also not care. But we are running out of spots to find our Dark World access.
Chat correcting me that did mention land was in logic. No, not, but is available. Death Mountain Trip was entirely out of logic. That flute was out of logic. Mooglecharm cleaning up here.
Yeah, Swerb heading to desert. Now he'll be able to full clear this. The interesting thing will be if Landmolus has a big item. That would be advantage Swerb. Mooglecharm, if he finds a fire rod, I'd expect him to go to Eastern first before going back into desert.
Yeah, just cover some new ground. Because even though it is a crystal, it's something you can route in later if you get mitts and you can do Misery Mire, so no rush on it. He probably knows there's progression somewhere in the eastern area anyway.
Yeah, that if he's keeping track of the logic, he knows the fire rod won't lead the lamp because you needed the lamp to get to the fire rod. But fire rod could lead to something else. And while Swerb is about to pick up his Moon Pearl, so, I mean, looking at what they've got, Aga just feels like it's a strong possibility right now, just because they've basically got what I kind of call the Dark World starter package. With everything they've got, they have more than enough ability to basically go almost anywhere in the Dark World at this point.
Pretty much. Even without a hammer, they could get to the east side of Dark World with the flippers.
Oh, interesting. Mooglecharm's going right back to desert.
Quite an interesting match so far. No real divergence. Runners kind of just swapping places on where they're going. One follows the other, and then the other follows them back. All right, items still on Landmolus. Swerb. Enough magic to take down these heads.
He used 3 shots there, so he
Oh.
won't be able to take out the heads with just the fire rod now.
That's right. He was short 1 shot. Gonna take this out with the sword, though.
Still got a good 2 cycle there, so that's good. But not progression there, but first crystal. So our next piece of the puzzle is either in Saharsla or in Eastern.
We're looking for a hammer or mitts to get some Dark World access. Barring that, we're looking for the lantern, and it might be an Aghanim seed.
And there's not a lot else. The mirror could also make things interesting because it would send them up to Hera. But we would still, in that situation, we would also still need to find the lamp.
Right, that's still not a logical play. You're right, because the flute is out of logic. So that makes our lamp the access to Death Mountain. There it
There's
is.
the lamp. That puts a lot in logic. And so I'm heading to Eastern that has 2 items available. But we need to find a bow to be able to finish it. Or is Swerb just gonna do the Aga play?
Indeed. You know, it's risky.
Yeah, this is risky. I mean, leaving Eastern behind with 2 items, that's really risky right now. I get it if he's feeling a little behind, but if Hammer or Mitts are in Eastern and mooglecharm goes for it, this race turns completely is completely different.
Yeah, this is gonna kind of set the pace for both of these runners. One of these plays is the right play. Nothing else left on this. Ooh, Dark Palace, that's our green pendant.
A little more info, so we have 1 more pendant in the Dark World still. Alright, will mooglecharm head to Eastern? He thought about the save and quit. But he's going to Eastern. So this is a big moment. If mooglecharm finds anything in Eastern, it's advantage to him. If there's nothing in Eastern, Swerve's got a head start in the Dark Worlds.
Almost anything. If he finds something like Mirror, which is very valuable, but like you said, only unlocks Hera, that sends him on a wild goose chase. So he's hoping for a few things. Maybe a bow, for sure. He could clear out the rest of this dungeon. If he gets the hammer, that's full Dark World access. Other than that, it's not a whole lot.
That's our first item right there. So there's only 1 more item available in Logic. Unless they find the bow, then they can get the Armos item.
All right, still 3 checks left.
No, Swerb is made it to Aga. Go ahead and guess blue balls if you'd like to.
7.
Okay, so mooglecharm now has to go to the vanilla big key location, and our second item will be in the big chest.
Yeah, mooglecharm really banking on this being something. Swerb made the choice to skip Eastern and get up to Aga's Tower, start his Dark World exploration. If this is nothing for mooglecharm, then Aga was the play.
Get the big key here. Aga's down for Swerb, only 1 blue ball.
There it is. What's in the big chest?
Piece of heart, this is an Aga seed.
Swerb made the gamble, it paid off.
Get a map check. Ice is our last pendant, and Thieves Town and Turtle Rock are our 5-6.
Yep, indeed. And Swerb just making sure he gets this catfish check out of the way.
So for now, this is an advantage to Swerb, but we'll have to wait and see if he, for example, dips Eastern without Bull a little later. If he does that, mooglecharm will make that time back up. But for now, Swerb's got the head start in the Dark World. Just a shield. Swerb says no thanks. Most runners do. They don't like shields because they cause lag.
Yeah, in particular the mirror shield, so at worst case he's going to end up with a fire shield. Alright.
So, with what Swerb's got, he can go full clear Skullwoods, he can full clear Thieves Town. So that's most likely his first 2 stops. Actually, he can't full clear Thieves Town. He can clear it, but he'll have to leave the big chest behind without the hammer.
Exactly, yeah. One chest could still have an item. If the key or a dungeon item locks itself, then no problem. And actually, good call going up to Skullwoods because he may find that hammer or something else useful up here. This is fully clearable.
Yeah, you can get everything. You're gonna do the back first at Ambrosia because you know one item guaranteed locked in the back. And Swerb, well, he's only got Fighter Sword, but he also has a green potion and a blue potion, so he'll be able to make full use of the Fire Rod as well.
Right. Yeah, and he's got quite a few hearts, more than you would have even in vanilla. So this is not so bad even with Fighter Sword.
The other reason this is a good move to make right now is because when you only have one access point in the Dark Worlds, you got to be a little more thorough with your clear. You got to be a little more careful about making skips and just what you decide to do, because if you have to come back around to get something, it's more lost time. Got mooglecharm on the Agaphite. We already saw this, and the Agaphite is seeded for both, so what Swerb got, mooglecharm will get.
Alright, nothing in the back, just one item here on Moth. Get that death warp from the Gibdo. Save a little bit of time.
One item on Moth, and the other item will be in the front. Now, the one advantage mooglecharm has coming into the Dark World is it's got that half magic early, so can make a little bit more use of the Fire Rod.
Yeah, actually, the Swerb is probably going to have to burn a green potion here unless he wants to do a full Fighter Sword Moth.
Yeah, he's going to use that green. He has a blue as well if he needs it. And he's got blue mail, so everything will only do 1 heart of damage to him.
Well, one's a lot when you have 2 left. He's got to be really careful here.
Oh, yeah, he's going to burn the blue.
Yeah, with this amount left, he should be able to take Moth. As long as the spikes don't get in his way.
This Moth is not cooperating. He's got to use fire spins the rest of the way.
Got him.
First item, a red 20, but also second crystal.
Yeah, so we'll see the front of Skull Woods before we get through to Village of Outcasts. And mooglecharm making the same play, heading up towards North Dark World. Probably check Bumper Cave and follow along with Skull Woods.
Yeah, a lot of things in the Dark World that'll hurt. Like these. And there's our second item. Alright, so that opens up a bit more.
Yeah, that's the Mire area. That is Ice Palace. Barring the hammer, but still Ice Palace.
mooglecharm starting in the front. That could have actually been bad, him dropping in there. There wasn't a key in that chest. But he's fine, and he gets his mitts. He'll know the second item is on Mothula, so he should just head to the back now. Yeah,
actually, he'll make up a little bit of time in Skull Woods. Swerb having done both the big key chest and the bridge chest before Mothula. And half magic gonna work out for him. Double his fire shots.
Swerb heading into Thieves Town without hammer, so he will have to leave at least one chest behind. I think mooglecharm got grabbed by accident there.
Yeah, he bonked into, I think, the spike, and then got grabbed by the wall master. It's kind of unfortunate.
And this is not the start you want to see to Thieves Town. 3 items minimum, or 3 of the dungeon items minimum in the front. Already seen the small key and the map. You know the big keys up front.
Yeah, if this is a compass, we know that last one's hammer locked.
There's the big key. Okay, there's at least a small chance that one item's not locked in that chest. Wow, mooglecharm grabs the key, grabs a full magic refill. He's gonna go into this fight with full magic and half magic. And yeah, I believe he has the same potions as Swerb, so the green and the blue are available to him. Moth also hugging the north in mooglecharm's fight. mooglecharm down to 3 hearts.
Yeah, no more magic.
Oh, nicely done. Didn't have to use either potion.
Ooh, sank hard in the attic.
Swerb needed the refill, so that's a good find for him.
I'm still looking for 2 items. One of them is going to be on blind. Swerb really hoping that it is not a compass in the maiden's chest. That would mean the last item is in the big chest, which you cannot get.
We're gonna find out in just a second. Okay, Swerb is safe. And so will mooglecharm. mooglecharm will be too when he heads into Thieves Town. If he decides to go in now.
I kind of don't see why not. Aside from that one chest, he can full clear it and may also, I don't know, feel behind. You never know how your opponent is doing. You kind of got to feel your opponent has probably played everything almost perfectly. So I don't see him not going in here.
With the mitts and flute now, you can get back to Thieves Town easily enough too. Yeah, Thieves Town ended up being empty. It is our third crystal though.
Yeah, only thing I could see mooglecharm doing before Thieves Town might be race game and possibly, even Stumpy. No, I don't see him doing the Smith just yet, but he can get up to Village of Outcasts pretty easily.
He's holding on it for now. Let's see what he does. Well, it might feel like these runners are equal right now. You gotta remember, Swerb has a dungeon advantage on mooglecharm at this point.
That was a waste of time. I think that was almost a full dig count, maybe 25.
Very close to full. I don't think quite full. Both are gonna grab the Smith and walk with him a little bit, at least to Stumpy and Hype Cave.
Yeah, mooglecharm maybe does not want a chance that big chest being hammerlocked.
Okay. Don't know what medallions we need yet. We'll need at least one to open 2 dungeons. Alright, gonna get our Hype Cave check. Okay, there's a good start.
That is a very good start.
Shovel, interesting to check. And that's it.
Yeah, bow's nice, but you get a shovel too. So that puts Eastern available, and you can get through. No, you can't actually get through the rest of the pod. You do need that hammer still. A few more checks with the Smith in tow.
Our next big source of items is going to be the mire area. Well, actually, that's not even that big of a source right now. Only 2 checks guaranteed there. And a third if you can go into mire.
Yeah, probably not worth it at this point. Maybe Mire Shed just because it's quick. But you don't have the mirror, so you can't even save and quit and get out and flute away.
We'll go and check the dig spot. The answer was not the Smiths.
No, not dig spot either.
Swerb's gonna follow right behind mooglecharm to check the dig spot.
So you do have Mire area open, plus possibly the one chest inside. Most of pod is available, pending the key layout.
My guess is Swerb's next play will be Eastern now. He has not gone in there yet, and he can get the full clear now.
Yeah, Swerb, you're right. There's nothing inside, so he's not going to get anywhere really with it, but can full clear it. Mooglecharm dipped it earlier, did not have the bow.
They're both going for Meyer area. Well, we might be able to open Meyer. See the medallion. It's ether, so we can open it. But without Samaria, can't full clear it. And nothing in Meyer shed. We are running low on locations. One check in Meyer. Ice Palace is available. At least part of it. You can go into Pod and do part of that as well. Or most of that, actually, but you can't finish it.
Pod is a bit more appealing. Oh, Dark Death Mountain is available to us. We got the Titansmiths.
That's a good point, yeah. 6 items up here. One of the runners on Seal W, Nabs, is remarking that what are the odds it's progressions in Ice Palace for the 3rd time in the series? Fortunately, I have not seen the other 2 games, so I'm not fully familiar what happened there, but it sounds like Pendant Ice came up with something in the previous 2 games.
Yeah, if there's one game you should watch the previous game between these 2. Absolute garbage, but man, it was fun. It was fun to watch, at least. I know they hated it.
We're gonna get our Turtle Rock info as well now. It's Bombo, so we have our 2 medallions that we need. So at this point for Go Mode, we need to find the hammer, the Cane of Samaria, and the mirror. And we will need to find at least one more sword.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity for that sword, but you know, the hammer, the mirror, and the cane really have a decreasing amount of places they could be. So nothing here up in Dark Death Mountain, at least nothing that's not hammerlocked. We can't see Spike Cave.
Running out of checks. We've got most of Pod, 4 items there. We have we have 1 item in Minor. We have the purple chest. What else do we have? Oh, we have Ice Palace, yeah.
Yep, Ice Palace.
Hera is not in Logic yet. Or not even accessible yet.
Yep, no mirror to go in from the shortcut. No hammer to go in from the long way. So Thief's Town it will be for Mooglecharm. No worry about that big chest. He's going to find all 4 items aside from that.
I think we've got another defining moment in this match coming shortly, with Swerb heading to the boss in here. This is a check. We'll have to see how long it would take Mooglecharm to come back and do. Somewhat incentivized, of course, because it's a crystal, as that Igor does not cooperate with Swerb.
Yeah, it's a crystal, and Armos has an item. So, you really want to do it. And you're still looking for 3 key items for Go Mode. You don't want to leave any stone unturned. Alright, fourth crystal coming up. As soon as Swerb takes down Armo, sets up the quick kill.
Ooh,
One gets away from
a
him.
little off. Only a green rupee.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Okay. We have our options. I think Swerb might go Dark Death Mountain, but our options are down to Pod, Ice Palace, and Purple Chest.
If it's Pendant Ice again, I am just kind of gonna take a break from commentating. I shouldn't watch these anymore.
Swerb gonna go for the item density. Gonna get the 6 items up here, which turned out to be nothing. Just a small comment I would have made up here. Honestly, you probably should have gone in through the Turtle Rock portal so you could open it on the off chance you were to find Samaria up here.
Except he doesn't have the hammer.
Oh, good point. I'm an idiot. Yeah, he had to go through that portal. Okay. You don't think you forget about these things 54 minutes into a seed.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you just kind of take for granted. Mirror or hammer. And we don't have either of those just yet. And we are 54 minutes in, as you say.
Answering a question in chat, mooglecharm's not that far behind realistically. He's cleared out all of Eastern except for the boss. He's about to finish Thieves Town. Swerb is definitely ahead because he made the Agaplay a little earlier, but that's pretty much the difference at this point. I think maybe Swerv's been a little more efficient, but beyond that, yeah. It's not that big of a, it's not that big of a lead for Swerb, essentially.
No, after this, it's really just kind of the Armos fight at this point. All right, 3 crystals to 4. Sealed W with a 2-game-to-none lead. This is the elimination game. If Sealed W wins, they go on to the conference finals next week against the winner of Team Kappa versus WJP TBB. I think I got those letters right.
Yes, you did.
All right.
I think both of them are going for Purple Chest. They are trying to avoid the Pendant Dungeon dips. Which makes sense, because they can't clear either one they can access.
Conference semifinals, just quick correction.
Oh, Swerb forgot that this... What does Purple Chest have? 20 rupees. Choose a Pendant Dungeon.
Well, Hera's out. I guess. Man, Pod's always appealing. mooglecharm's going to finish off Eastern first.
Yep. Oh, chat brings up a point. One check in Swamp is also available.
As soon as we get the mirror.
Oh, you're right.
But that could have hammer. If we get the mirror, that opens that up.
Alright. I think Swerve's down to a Pendant Dungeon choice at this point, though, so let's see which way he goes.
Yeah, so this is the Dark World entrance. Yep.
It's the more logical of the two plays. There's 4 items for sure you can get to.
I mean, he calmed with me last night's race. He should know that Ice Palace is kind of the answer when you don't want it to be. So I hope this works out for him, for his sake.
Now, it is worth noting, nothing was in Eastern. You had to clear it because it's a crystal, but the bow has not led to anything yet, so might make you think that it's a little more likely that it'll yield something.
Yeah, so we do have most of these checks available here, unless we find the hammer. Cannot get to the boss of Palace of Darkness.
Alright. So, Pod is not bow locked as mooglecharm takes on the Armos Knights. So they're tied up in crystals, but Swerb still has a bit of an advantage with the number of checks done. So I think mooglecharm's also down the pendant dungeons at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these two have pretty much caught up. Swerb just a few screens ahead here. Ooh, mooglecharm gonna take the hammer through the rock through the portal. Doesn't have the hammer though.
Yeah, and they're both gonna unite in Pod, so they're both following each other still, which keeps Swerb in the lead for now.
I mean, they have had Ice Palace access for quite a long time. We found flippers super early. We found mitts relatively early, and a fire source as well. It's kind of pointing you towards that direction.
Yeah, though the flippers did lead to hookshot and flute early. Now, the one problem here is, unless Swerb gets the hammer or Mir right now, he's going to have to go all the way to the front somehow. And he didn't, so he's either going to walk back or take a death warp.
Yeah, these spikes will take 1 damage, no matter the armor, so it's probably the quickest way to death warp around here.
Now, mooglecharm picked up a fairy in Eastern, so if he attempts a death warp, he is going to be in for a surprise. The other thing that might be keeping him from ice is they know that at best they're only going to get 2 items. Oh, that's right. We still have a chest in Mire that's accessible.
Yes. Yeah, 2 items in Mire. Isn't that right? Or is it 2 or 3?
1 item in Mire that's available, plus 1 on Vitreous.
Right. Yeah, so only the 1 item that would be in there somewhere. Nothing here in the back of Pod. Nothing here at the front either.
Still a few more chests to check. The Harmless Hellway will have something. And then the 3 items in the Dark Maid. Okay, silvers are nice.
That's something.
Not the answer.
Alright, so Swerb gonna take the opportunity here to do the hammer jump and go through the dark maze the reverse way. Just keeping track of his items. Just gonna make sure he doesn't pick up that potentially last useless chest.
Alright, so I think there's like one item in the dark maze.
Yeah. There it is.
It's not Pod. Ice Palace or Meyer.
Yeah, and there's the chest he didn't need to pick up. Last item is on Helmasaur, which is hammerlocked. I'm betting Ice Palace.
And mooglecharm's trying to take a death, but he's got a fairy.
Oh, he does. So Swerb didn't get that fairy, or did he release it?
mooglecharm used the net to get a fairy.
Oh, okay, I see.
I mean, it's a heads-up play at the time, but now you kind of regret it a little. Alright, so Swerb has chosen ice. Will it be another pendant ice progression in this series?
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Doesn't have the Canis Samaria, so after this Penguin Gator room, head up and do the bomb jump instead of Icebreaker.
First chest has a key. I believe they have access, because of that key, they have access to 3 more chests. At least.
Yeah, the
2
only...
items.
I was gonna say, the only items they don't have access to then would be the H-shaped room and vanilla big key chest.
And yeah, those 2 plus cold stare.
Cold
Potentially they
Stare.
can get to the big key depending on where or they can get to the big chest depending on where the big key is. These runners have been dry for a while, and they're both feeling it at this point.
Yeah, seeds started to open up pretty early. And, you know, once we got Dark World access, we thought, okay, we do have access to quite a bit, but there's been nothing. Nothing in Thieves Town. Did find mitts in Skullwoods. Nothing in Palace of Darkness. And Overworld was a bust, too.
We found Bombos the other one, and a bow, but yeah. We're still looking. So, mooglecharm's out of pod. Will he go to Ice or Meyer? Swerb checking. There's the big key. That's another chest we can check.
Still no item.
I think mooglecharm's going for Meyer. We've got Divergence.
So we had Divergence early on. We had a dip into Eastern from mooglecharm and Swerb deciding to do Aga. Worked out for Swerb. Let's see if the tables have turned and mooglecharm comes up with his 1 item check here.
I'll say Swerve's about to leave this chest behind. Just a map. We have 1 chest available still in Ice Palace.
Yeah, there's that iced tea room.
If it's not in this last chest, Meyer is the answer. Though technically both could be the answer. That's not out of the realm of possibilities yet.
Imagine Moogle finds the hammer and Swerb finds the Canis Samaria.
That would just be really, really. I don't even know the word. I don't even know what word I want to use there. Right. Moment of truth. Quake, it's not ice.
Moogle's gonna run into progression here.
Mooglecharm just took the lead. So what's the progression in Meyer? The mirror.
There's your Swamp Palace and your, I guess, Tower of Hera, if there's something up there, but Swamp is looking pretty nice.
He's gonna go check checkerboard right away. Yeah, actually no, Swamp's not looking nice because hammer.
Hammer, yes. Oh, so checkerboard, yes, do that first.
But there are overworld spots that are now open too.
There's one down.
We still need hammer and Cane of Samaria. The tablets are open now, but they don't have a second sword to get them. They can only read them. Mooglecharm's really indecisive. He's gotta be a little quicker here. I think he's gonna commit to Overworld first.
Yeah, so this is probably going to be K45 and or Graveyard Ledge. Graveyard Ledge coming up first. Swerb just 1 room away, 2 rooms away here from his mirror.
Yeah, going up Death Mountain would have made some sense. You got 2 checks in Hera plus Ether Tablet you can at least look at. Swerb using his cape because he's about to out of health. He's got his mirror, and he's on the move. So now it's a race to find the next piece of progression.
It's going to be the hammer or the cane. Or something that leads to both.
If you're in this position, you want to find Cane first, because a hammer Gomo would be really nice. Yeah, Moogle is committing to Overworld. Will Swerb diverge? He is. He's going to Hera.
I like the Hera to the to Ether Tablet play. Like you mentioned, you do need that second sword, but at least knowledge. You'll get some knowledge out of this.
For Mooglecharm, he'll check cave south of the grove. He can also look at the Bombos tablet if he wants. If he really wants to, he can check the front of Swamp, but that's not a very pleasant look right now. What does this cave have? There's the hammer.
That's a great find for Mooglecharm.
Now, if Swerb were to somehow run into Samaria, that could end up being better for him. But I think Mooglecharm now is going to make a full clear of Swamp.
Yeah, and still needing that Cane of Samaria, unless he gets it early. Left side is definitely an option.
So Mooglecharm is definitely taking the advantage in this, a clear advantage to him now. If Swerb runs into Cane of Samaria first, this race gets very interesting. So far, Swerb has not seen either item in Hera. There's the first. Nothing in the basement. Second item on the Moldorm.
Yep. Yeah, this is a time when Harapod is very useful because you found that big key. You could skip the basement entirely, and you still get the big chest.
Might slightly be worth mentioning at this point, but the pedestal is in play. Ooh. Moldorm takes round 1.
Is pedestal in play? Because we know the hammer can't be there. Ice Palace is hammer locked, of course.
Samaria
And
could
Ice
be
Palace
there.
has a chance to be Samaria locked if the key layout is right in...
Nope, not in Ambrosia.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
Yeah, the only way Samaria could be locked in ice is if, or ice could be Samaria locked is if there's a small key on Cold Stare. But because there's always an item on a boss in Ambrosia, ice will never be Samaria locked in Ambrosia mode. Hera was not the answer. And I think Swerb is eventually going to be forced to K45.
That's what it's looking like. Heading to the Dark World. Could check out Graveyard Ledge first, as mooglecharm did. mooglecharm not taking the chance on left side swamp. Not a bad call, because you know you're going to wind up back here to get the crystal. And if Argus has the big key, I don't think we found that yet.
Argus will not have the big key, of course.
We're in Ambrosia. So it's like twice in 2 minutes you've corrected me. There's a big key.
But, yeah, right now, we're going to have Maya go mode the rest of the way, and Turtle Rock is going to be a go mode Turtle Rock. After Swamp, it's just pendant dungeons left, and it's basically, I think it's two. We have 2 items left in ice, 1 item plus green pendant and pop. And Swerb, unfortunately, is going to be kind of back-to-back last locations. Last location, the mirror, then last location, the hammer.
We only found 2 items here. The third will be on Argus. So the others are going to be left side swamp and the big key chest. The big chest, rather. Taking the puffs out with doubles and the hammer. Not a bad move with the fighter sword.
Swerb about to pick up his hammer. I expect Swerb will follow mooglecharm into the swamp right now. Bit of a slow fight here for mooglecharm. I mean, the hammer fight is pretty slow in general.
Nails him with the silver arrows, though. Still looking for that Cane of Samaria. 3 items left here in Swamp Palace.
You know, 3 items left, he's going back in.
This is the right move, because it takes too much time to have to come back here, reset the dam. Even if ice is the play, right? I mean, this is the logical play, no matter what's back here.
Yeah. 3 items, you're not leaving this behind. Yeah, for mooglecharm, the question will be, if it's not here, where to go next. And ice will look pretty attractive to him, with 3 items being there. I just feel like we can say the other item in Mire will be... They'll get it, but it'll be in... Well, we keep forgetting to mention, there's actually 2 items from Go Mode, because in addition to Samaria, we need a second sword. Their only sword so far is the sword they got at the very beginning.
All right, nothing there. Still left side. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if one or both of these runners banked on a sword being available in GT, and once they find that cane, just Go Mode most of the rest of these places. Turtle Rock, though. Turtle Rock is a crystal, so you're going to have to fight Trinex. Fighter Sword Trinex is rough.
Yeah, it's logical because they have half magic plus bottles, but it would be rough. Mooglecharm heading to the west side of Swamp. So we're heading straight to the back is the same as Mooglecharm did. Alright, left side Swamp. What do we got? Oh, map. I guess there are only 2 items left in here. And there's the cane.
That's it.
Mooglecharm's in Go Mode.
He's in sword mode, but very likely to run into something here. And he'll make quick work of... No, you won't even have to go into Ice Palace at this point. He's going to head to Mire, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's going to go straight to Mire and then Turtle Rock. Yeah, we are not quite in Go Mode yet. He does need another sword. But at this point, he'll just assume he's going to find another one along the route. Swerb is probably, what, at least 3-4 minutes behind right now?
Yeah, he's getting close to that timing. I didn't take note of when Mooglecharm found that cane in Samaria, but the trip up to Death Mountain, trying for Hera, and the chance on Ice Palace versus Misery Mire is really what has changed this game.
Well, for a change of pace in this series, there was no progression in Ice Palace. Unless there's a sword on Cold Stare. But they did not find the big key their first time in, so they gotta find that first.
There it is. So Vitreous, on your way to Vitreous, do have the silver arrows, so can take him out really quickly, despite only having the fighter sword. Swerb missing that arrow.
Argus is dodging pretty well. He gets Argus down. So Swerb needs to go back into Swamp to stay alive.
Ooh, nudge the block just a little bit too much.
Okay, Swerb is going back in.
Yeah, probably feeling the same thing as Mooglecharm. 3 items, only a few spots left. There's no way he wants to leave those back.
Yeah, checkers. There's actually only 2 items over here because we got the map on the left side as well.
Yep, Kane, Big 20, and the map.
And right now, our 2 big variables is where's another sword and where will the GT Big Key be?
Yeah, if Swerb is a bit more thorough and ends up getting a sword before mooglecharm, that's a big help to him.
Well, not in Meyer, as mooglecharm grabs his 6th crystal. He'll be on his way to Turtle Rock. I mean, it's not guaranteed that there will be a sword in GT, but there are so few locations outside of GT left, I'd be very surprised if there's not at least one in there.
Right, you've got 2 items in Ice Palace. You've got the tablets, Turtle Rock, and Mimic Cave.
Swerb is about to hit go mode. He'll be a dungeon behind mooglecharm at this point.
There's probably more locations than you think, right? I mean, there's still Helmasaur. Geez, there could be the pedestal. There could be a sword there.
Yeah,
Not going to get that one.
Swerb's in go mode, about 4 minutes behind mooglecharm.
Chat pointing out hammer pegs.
And there's the Bombos tablet just to the left of here that neither runner checked. So they can't get it without another sword anyway. I mean, I guess there could be a sword on pedestal, technically.
It was last night. Swerb will tell you all about it.
That is another option for mooglecharm too, is that he could choose to check Hera for a sword if he doesn't find one. Which would give Swerb some time back if he does that. But that would likely not be until he at least full clears the basement of GT. I could actually see that as a play. If you clear the basement of GT, you haven't found a sword, you might clear Hera before making the climb.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good play. Because it's right there, it's a mirror away, and it's quick.
Oh, Swerb forgot to hit that switch. I did that yesterday in my race, I think. Or it was Monday in my race, and I don't know how I missed that. So, in all likelihood, the right side here will be 2 keys. Swerve's got his big key. He's on his way to Vitreous. Unfortunately, he's only got 9 arrows because of his Argus fights. So he cannot just use silvers on Vitreous. He's going to have a slower fight.
Yeah, he does have the cape, and he's got sufficient bombs if he wants to weaken some of those eyeballs before pulling out the silvers. Does want to save 2 for sure for that big eyeball.
Mooglecharm continuing through Turtle Rock. There's the big key.
Yeah, so I foresee mooglecharm being very thorough here, just because laser bridge is a given, but
Well,
mimic cave and this big chest are both right there.
the question is how far, if you're in Mooglecharm's scenario, if you're in this situation right now, how far behind do you feel? Or do you feel behind? Because you almost last location in the mirror. You did skip Hera, but you might feel quite a bit behind at this point.
You put off Aga. That automatically makes me feel behind.
He's at least going outside, so at least check the big chest. I see if he checks Mimic Cave as well. I imagine he will. Swerv's got his 6th crystal. He'll be climbing next.
Yeah, so first doing this big chest, hoping to run into a sword. No, he's doing Mimic Cave.
He's leaving Mimic Cave behind. He did also leave the lava chest behind, but that's kind of standard when you're in go mode. There are a couple more chests out there that a sword could be in now. Remember, there's 3 swords out there. He just needs to find 1.
I'm sure he would love to find 2 here on Laser Bridge. Never know if he skipped one in some of the chests that he just passed right by.
Here comes Laser Bridge. There's a heart container. I just want to pull the cape out. Yeah, I'm about to say, don't want to waste time here. There's a sword. That is full go mode for mooglecharm.
Yeah, 1 hour 31 minutes. Having your 2nd sword. First one after you started. Master Sword try next is a bit easier, but it's still likely he'll do hammer strats if he can pull it off.
I don't believe he has a fairy anymore. He has potions, so he's got more than enough resources to get through this.
Alright, using the hammer. You have to be real careful. The hitbox is a little bit funny with the hammer. Just melting that ice head with the fire rod.
Getting ready for a spin. Ooh, he's gonna burn a potion.
gets that last swing on the body, picking up his 7th crystal. We got one more thing to do here. We're gonna play a game as soon as picks up this crystal. Go ahead and get your guesses in for the Ganon's Tower Big Key game. Guess a number 1 through 22. If your number matches up with the chest that has the Ganon's Tower Big Key, you'll get some points on the leaderboard.
So just for
JP,
record,
you only got a few questions. Any guesses?
I just usually pick 15. Just for the record, mooglecharm left at about 133.12. Just so we can see how far ahead he is when Swerb finishes TR. Swerb is going to check this chest. I believe it has to be a small key at this point.
I think you're right, because we did not find a small key on Laser Bridge. So he's trading key for a key.
Alright, here we go. Start the small key and the compass.
Yeah, that small key is a clue. You may want to take the right side. Not always. Some runners tend not to do that.
Swerb is skipping Mimic Cave as well. Just 3 piece of hearts. Rupees, single arrow, and rupees.
Yeah, aside from that big key, would love to find a sword in one of these chests down here.
Check 7, another small key. Swerb, meanwhile, on Laser Bridge, he'll get his Master Sword in just a minute. There's go mode for Swerb. Well, got checks 8 through 11. Still no big key. No extra swords either.
Swerb not out of this yet. If the big key is something like Tile Room, and Swerb feels behind enough where he thinks that's his only chance. Yet to be seen. Chest number 13 coming up in the Firebar room. Fire Snake room.
We got bombs.
And I believe you said 133.12 was when Mooglecharm picked up that crystal?
Yeah, that was when he left. That was when he was walking out of TR.
Gotcha.
So mooglecharm's still going to have about a 4-minute lead here. It's 14, 15, 16, 17.
Well, 3 more chests behind Ice Armos and 1 in the tile room.
We also have Bob's chest.
Bob's chest too.
Haven't even found a 3rd sword yet. Yeah, if you're rooting for Swerb, You might have to hope for it to be tower room and sort of goes straight there. Chest 18 bombs. That's worth remembering. Swerb knows he has a 2-0 lead in this, so if he's really feeling behind, he might go for a big risk.
Yeah, he's almost playing with house money a little bit. So here we got last 3 checks before it's tile room.
Piece of heart container. It's in tile room.
All right, so is Swerb gonna take the chance? He's not.
He's not. So we've basically done a full clear of the basement, and we still have not found another sword as well. Good news is mooglecharm and Swerb both have silver arrows, so it's not as bad of a fight coming up here with Ganon. It's definitely more manageable than Master Sword Silverless. But yeah, at this point, Moogle's basically got it unless he makes a big mistake.
Yeah, a couple of falls or a death somewhere near the top of the gauntlet. With as many hearts he has, it's unlikely. Get these mimics right in position.
I think it's worth it to start talking about the next game at this point, assuming this holds and mooglecharm takes the win in game 3. As he does an accidental map there. Talking about game 4. So with games 4 and 5, it's basically the team's choice now as to who they're going to send. And game 4 will be Double Dipper's choice because they are the lower seed. So if they pull this out, they will have the advantage in game 4 of a mode choice. And both teams will have to choose who plays.
Yeah, the formats for games 1, 2, and 3 are pretty much set. But actually, I think 3 might not be. But 4 and 5, yeah, it is runner's choice. Well, there is one veto that the teams are able, the teams that are not choosing the settings are able to void.
Swerb falls into Armos 2 as mooglecharm hits Land Mola 2.
Yeah, Swerb getting the bad news that it's going to be tile room.
He hasn't gone full right yet, so he still has compass room as well.
True.
Could save a little time if he does tile rooms first, but I don't know if he'd do that at this point. Yeah, he's leaving tile room for last. Which makes complete sense. If you're doing tile room, if you're doing the tile room choice, you're doing it right away. You're not gonna do it before checking compass room.
Yeah, that's not a decision you can kind of do half-heartedly.
mooglecharm having a little bit of trouble in this room. He's gonna lose a little time.
He could have walked out of the room and reset the torch rather than letting this one go out, but does get these two set up, dash down, and fire on this fourth one.
Gonna wait it out here and refill his magic. Will he check the upstairs chests for a sword?
Yep, 4 of them here, 2 in the mini Helma room, and then a pre and a post Moldorm. It's worth it.
Yeah, I guess going from master to tempered would be so big, you gotta make these checks. And no powder, so he can't powder the anti-fairies for a health refill. He does still have some potions, though. One more
Last
check.
one.
Nope, we've got Master Sword Silverless coming. Swerb's got his big key. He's going to be climbing, but he's now a GT climb behind mooglecharm.
Alright, this is where it counts. Get a good pattern. Starts off with a double.
Looked like a single, actually. He does have to be somewhat careful in this fight. He's down to 3 hearts.
Yeah, don't be afraid to burn your potion now. Unlike Aga 1, Aga 2 will not give you the refill.
Okay, Aga 2 down. At this point, he's pretty secure, even if with a Ganon death, he's still got a pretty significant lead. And he's not even chancing it. He's going to take a potion before going into the fights. Master Sword Silver is not the easiest thing to pull off. It's not that bad, but it does take some patience.
It's non-trivial, I'll put it that way. Because with some practice, you know, you can be fairly efficient about where you're positioning yourself, but you don't. It's not a free fight.
And he's got blue mail and 17 hearts, so he's well protected. But you still have to be somewhat careful on this. Going into phase 2, this is definitely when you want to use your cape, because using that cape will help you get some extra hits on Ganon. So Ganon not giving good spin setups for double spins.
Yeah, if he was about a tile, maybe half a tile down, mooglecharm could set up just by the wall. There he goes, and able to get a spin, which will count for double. One more potion. Oh, he's got a green and a blue here.
At this point, he just needs to play it safe. Missed the spin
Poked.
there.
Yep, poked Ganon, lost the spin. This is probably the more dangerous part of Ganon on Master Sword.
He's got the torch crystal Ganon teleported right below him. Two more arrows. Ganon is down.
Yeah, those silvers much nicer than a silverless fight. Just got to cross this bridge. He will reclaim the Triforce, save the world, and get his team with a win in this series. mooglecharm finishing with a first place finish, 1 hour, 48 minutes, 28 seconds. GG to he and to Double Dippers.
Double Dippers will force Game 4. They will get the choice in Game 4.
Both these runners really did a lot of the same checks early on. They really followed each other's footsteps, and then some slight divergence about midway through the seed. Swerb checking out Ice Palace, which had nothing, and then Tower of Hera, which also had nothing, while mooglecharm picked up his mirror in Misery Mire. We are joined actually by mooglecharm. GG.
Thanks, GG's.
So I don't know if you heard that last comment. We did have, you and Swerb really doing a lot of the same things, except for when you got the mirror out of Misery Mire, that was the check that really put you ahead.
Yeah, I think at that point I had like one check in Mire, a couple in Ice Palace. Maybe something else, I don't remember, but it was to the point where I was like, well, we got there early, so and at least with Mire I can go get, try and get the big key, and if I need to double dip, I need to double dip. As soon as I got that mirror, I was like, I didn't even worry about the big key. I just got out of there right away, figuring I made the right choice.
All right, just a quick programming note. We are going to be running up against the next event, so we do have Swerb in here, breaking the fourth wall. GG Swerb, that was kind of a tough match for both of you.
Breaking the fourth wall, yeah. Believe it or not, I do kill Ganon, chat. Yeah. GG's, Moogle. That sucked.
Did you dip waterfall real early?
Yeah, I did. I sequence broke up the mountain like right away, basically, like right after CAC. Just because of those boots, I was like, well, I'll check Bonk Rocks and Lumberjack, and then I was like, well, I'm here, I might as well grab like the old man save point. And then when I was up there, I was like, well, I might as well check the one location that's up here, and it was Slippers. Hey, look, I fell. And yeah, then Waterfall Fairy was pretty nice. I was feeling really good for like the first half of that seed, as I was telling Moogle and Iris. And then Mir happened.
Yeah, you were ahead for a good amount of the seed, and then it just came down to finding that mirror. The divergence was basically you went to Ice Palace while Moogle went to Mire. Moogle found the mirror there, and then it kind of extended when you went to Hera versus Moogle doing some overworld first, finding the hammer.
Okay.
I actually did I fluted to one, thinking I was going to do Hera, and then to my tracker, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a pendant. Let's do some overworld instead.
Yeah, okay, I didn't realize you didn't do Hera either. No, we were talking at IRC a little bit, obviously. The Mire call was definitely the correct one. Like, your logic was really sound about that. Like you said, you had Ether opening up Meyer is definitely a good sway to go there. But like I said, it was just that match from yesterday between our teams with that hammer and Ice Palace Big Chest. I was just like, oh my god, this can't be happening.
That was kind of a joke with me and JP that chat was pointing it out too. Ice Palace has been the key to this series up to now, and you saw what happened last night. So I kind of suspected that's why you were going there.
Well, at least I found Quake there.
I think we still have 2 swords MIA. Didn't even get hints where they were in the credits.
Oh yeah, I started freaking out a little bit about like the potential for Kane on the pedestal, but at that point it's just like, whatever. I'm just gonna full clear the seed, and if that's what happened, then I guess I'm done. Whatever.
Well, I guess we did get a hint that one was on the potion shop.
Oh, shroom on pedestal, huh? That's cute.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah, this.
So
Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, so we are running low on time. Swerb, you are about to clean up on Ganon here. What are you guys' thoughts for Game 4 now that we have one? Do you have any idea from either of your teams who's running or what settings we might be looking forward to?
I don't have any idea. I was talking about it with my team last night. We were like, well, let's focus on getting the win first and not get too ahead of ourselves. So we'll probably talk about it tonight.
Yeah,
Fair
to be
enough.
honest, I was hoping to just win so that we wouldn't have to figure it out. So I don't think we haven't really talked about it. But wait, no, I mean, I wanted a Game 4, so we have a plan. I went easy on Moogle.
Fair enough.
He asked me to. No, not really. We'll have to talk with Nabs and Pika and figure something out.
So we are going to have to run out. We do have another event coming up on SpeedGaming. It's going to be an SMZ3 race between Ivan and Thornetto. They have delayed for us, so we got to skedaddle out of here. GG's to both of you. Be sure to check the schedule for upcoming Link to the Past Randomizer League races. Check out ALTTPRleague.com for the full bracket and schedule. And hope to see everybody next time. GG's to everybody.